Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Cabral.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We're here today with our second host call of the weekend. This is episode 2375. So if you'd like to read along with the questions, you can do so just by heading on over to stephencabral.com/2375. All right, we're about to dive into 6 more questions here today. I'm excited to see what the community has to say, what they may be dealing with, and how I can help to the best of my ability. So I'm opening up the document right now, scrolling past yesterday's show, which was 2374. And we are here today with our first question from Eve. Eve says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thanks for answering my question. I've always struggled with belly fat. The rest of me is thin, but I have lower belly fat and love handles. No matter what I do, I can't get rid of it. I eat incredibly well, alternate between strength and cardio days, fast for approximately 16 hours. I definitely do not overeat, perhaps sometimes undereat when I'm having busy days. My only thought is that it could be hormonal. I've just taken out my IUD that I've had for 6 years, or something to do with stress levels. Any advice you would have is greatly appreciated. Been trying to find the answer since I was 10 years old." All right, well, I'm happy to help. This is one of the things that we specialize in, is helping people transform their bodies the healthy way. And so typically, when you're holding fat around the belly, it has to do with increased levels of cortisol or lower thyroid levels combined with dysregulated blood sugar. I know that sounds like a mouthful, but they really do all work together. So what happens is you might be high or low in blood sugar. Let's say you've been going too long without eating, your blood sugar then levels drop, stress levels increase, you produce more cortisol. Cortisol then increases your body's ability to break down stored glycogen, raising those blood sugar levels, but yet you're not actually active doing anything. So as the levels increase, your body thought, or your mind at least, thought there was a perceived stress. Since there is no perceived stress, it can then be stored again as body fat, or stored for the first time as body fat. And low thyroid is part of this, because the higher the cortisol levels and stress levels go, the lower the thyroid levels go. So I have a whole podcast on all things weight loss. I would definitely check that out. But if you really want to go in depth and find the answer, and this is all free, I just remember this off the top of my head. Go to stephencabral.com/BMRI, bioregulatory medicine. Bioregulatory BRMI. Let's see if that's right. Bioregulatory Medicine Institute. There it is. Okay. So stephencabral.com/BRMI. I recorded this for the Bioregulatory Medicine Institute, which I'm on the advisory board for. I don't receive any compensation. They're just a nonprofit. They do good work. And so I try to share that with them. Okay. So that is that. I would definitely check that out. And 100%, this is either most likely hormonal based or it's digestive based. And so the very best thing that you could do is run the Big 5 labs. You'll get a personalized protocol with that. And if you don't want to run the Big 5, I would run the stress, mood, and metabolism test, which looks at all the hormones. That includes estrogen dominance, high cortisol, thyroid, etc. But I would, if possible, run the Candida metabolic and vitamins test along with it to get your answers. And again, lots of free podcasts at stephencabral.com/podcasts. As you go to the top of that page, right there, I'm looking at it, at least it says weight loss solutions. And I have all free podcasts just on how to lose weight the healthy way and keep it off. All right. Angie's up next. "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I have had H. pylori and I'm healing gastritis due to that. I used to drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning, but I haven't done that in over 2 years. I started drinking bio coffee, which ingredients are instant Arabica coffee powder, non-dairy creamer, which is glucose syrup from tapioca starch, and vegetable fat from palm kernel. oligosaccharides from chicory roots, and wheatgrass powder. It's supposed to be alkaline, and it's the only coffee that doesn't hurt my throat and stomach. I actually feel better, and it's the only coffee. I think that says it twice, or I just am reading it twice. I actually feel better throughout the day if I drink it. Ideally, it would be the best. I never drank coffee or processed foods, but I'm curious to hear your review. Okay, so, wheatgrass powder is certainly more alkaline. I just did a whole podcast on this, though, because I just am not always, I'm just saying this right now, not always the biggest fan of instant coffees, because oftentimes they can be higher in acrylamides. I'm not saying this coffee is higher in acrylamides. However, some are. And you're actually getting that bean in there. So again, I just don't know. An alkaline version of this could be a cold brew, and you can cold brew decaf coffee if you'd like as well. But what I would do is I would go to this podcast. Just came out well after you asked this question, which you asked this the end of April. And let's see here. It was episode 2365, all right? So it was last Thursday. Head on over to stevencabral.com/2365. The other thing that you could also do is make your own alkaline coffee, if you choose to, by simply adding a little bit of baking soda or baking powder. Both of those are very alkaline. That would make it alkaline. If you want to do something healthier, before you drink your coffee, you would drink the alkalizing vitamin C by Equalife. Then at least you get vitamin C and you get calcium, magnesium, and potassium as well. All right, so that's that. Anonymous is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm a fairly new follower, but I wanted to thank you for all you do. I listen to your podcast every day, and I enjoy learning about the wide array of topics that you talk about. My question is on behalf of my partner. He's extremely heavy sweater at night to the point where I feel like I need to wash the sheets every day. He's 29, Vata body type, not overweight, working to implement less red meat and more vegetables in his diet. He's pretty active, but does work out with weights 2 to 3 times a week. Runs a few times a week as well. The only thing he does enjoy is beer and drinks around 3 to 4 daily. Other than that, he's a pretty healthy guy. I have tried to look for what the sweating could be at night, mostly find information on menopausal women. I was wondering if you had any suggestions for things to look into, test to run for the cause of his nighttime sweating. All right, well, you said he's not overweight. Okay, so that's the first one. And he's trying to do less red meat and more vegetables diet. Okay, that's good. But it also tells me that he's probably doing maybe a lot of meat in his diet. Maybe not. Again, I just have to look at this overall, because what happens at night, your body is looking to get into hibernation. I mean, it's the best way to think about sleep. It really is. Like, your body's hibernating overnight, and I'm oversimplifying this, but the first half of the night is basically repairing the body, and the second half of the night is repairing the brain. That is not exactly what's going on, but I just like to break it down more simply, because more deep sleep is happening in the beginning of the night and more REM sleep is happening at the end of the night. So you need both. And so your body is essentially rejuvenating and recovering overnight. I would do this, Anonymous. I would have him say, hey, can you go 1 week? Just normal work, normal exercise, normal meals, but no alcohol. And if he is not sweating then, or sweating nearly as much on the nights that he does not drink, no other variable. Okay, you can just do water, but no beer, no any alcohol. If he's not, it's an alcohol detox process, and his body is just trying to detox that alcohol overnight, which is not uncommon by any stretch of the imagination. Then what you could do for your next birthday, anniversary, holiday, whatever you're getting each other gifts, if you are, try to get this individual, your partner, a Oura Ring or BioStrap or some biometric device or Whoop strap that you are actually looking at deep sleep and REM sleep, and then check it out on the nights that he drinks and the nights that he doesn't drink. So try to start intermittent fasting 3 or 4 hours before bed, no alcohol before bed, no snacks before bed, and try that out. I'd be interested in hearing your results from that, because it very well could be a detox-based issue. He can also take the, which I recommend everybody do, the toxicity quiz over at stevencabral.com/assessments. Everybody should take that quiz to see where they're at in terms of how full their rain barrel is. All right, Anonymous is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I had a question about niacin. Growing up, my mom had told me that getting too much niacin, especially for a female, was not good for your health. However, if I take the DNS powder and the activated B complex each day, I was consuming well over the recommended daily intake of niacin. My mom doesn't specifically remember why she thought taking too much niacin was bad, so I figured I'd ask you. In my research, I did find that pregnant women need to be careful with niacin intake, but couldn't find any information on health risks for non-pregnant individuals. Any insights would be appreciated. Thank you. All right, great question, Anonymous. So here's the thing. The recommended daily allowance is just to keep you literally from getting things like rickets and scurvy and disease-based states. It is not optimal by any stretch of the imagination, nor do they say it is. It's just you have to be above this level or you could end up with some type of disease. So that's not optimal. I will tell you this. I mean, you can do too much of anything, by the way. Like you can do too much of any supplement. There's no doubt about it. You know I don't believe in megadosing. However, the B vitamins that we're talking about here, this is vitamin B3, niacin, helps with the brain. It helps your mitochondria. When people talking about nicotinamide mononucleotide, nicotinamide riboside, you're talking about B3 as the precursor for that. You're talking about vitamin B3. Check out my podcast I've done on Dr. Linus Pauling's work, on Dr. Andrew Saul's work, on niacin being used for depression and anxiety, people using it for a niacin flush in a sauna, which I'm not recommending, but you can take a really high dosage of niacin and it's totally fine for most people. Now, I have to give you my disclaimer. I cannot give you any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures, or diagnose any disease. So if you're dealing with a disease and you're worried about niacin, well, then don't overdo niacin. I can tell you that in the activated B complex, the DNS powder, at least for the people we use it with, it's not even close to upper limits, like without a doubt. Now, everything, by the way, is basically contraindicated for pregnancy, right? We just say that because we don't want to do too much because you're growing another life inside of your body. So I am the same way. I'm like, no herbs during pregnancy. You've got your daily activated multi or your daily nutritional support or whatever prenatal you want to use, extra methylfolate, right? At least during the first trimester and before you're getting pregnant. Omega-3s wouldn't be a bad idea to help with neural tube defect and a few others. And then you may need iron, which most women do during the last trimester. And then you can decide if you want to get that through whole food iron sources or you want to do that through whole food nutritional supplement sources. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. All right. Stacy's up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. You have been a beacon of light and hope to me. Thank you, Stacy. Appreciate that. I have been suffering for 15 years with extremely strange symptoms. My first symptom was SVT on my daughter's first birthday. My heart rate was around 240. SVT, by the way, for everybody out there listening, super ventricular tachycardia, which unfortunately I had when I was 22 years old, not ideal. And so basically heart rate was super high, had to get an ambulance that took 10 minutes of trying to control it, get it down. Continued with catheter ablation to my heart in 2007. Basically, it means they were cauterizing Stacy's heart. Soon after, symptoms popped up. Numbness in my chin, left leg, weakness in the legs, brain fog, sensory overload. Haven't been able to go to a movie, family gathering, B-day party, any event without alcohol to calm my nervous system. I don't drink, and it's shameful, and I'm not an alcoholic. I will actually throw up from the sensory overload and the feeling of what I think seizures would feel like. It's unbearable to say the least. Zero family history of this. MS has been ruled out. My doctors have not been able to diagnose me with anything except SVT, Raynaud's, mast cell activation syndrome, and now POTS dysautonomia in 2018. These last 4 years have been my absolute worst. I'm afraid I'm going to die. I am now on Xanax and Plaquenil. Do you think your program would help? I've had breast implants since 2006, hernia mesh, and amalgams. Okay, so, again, I have lots of podcasts on what to do first, because this is a what to do first, situation, right? So first thing you do is please read the book, The Rain Barrel Effect. If you read the book, The Rain Barrel Effect, the next step for most people in this situation where there's so many things that could be wrong, we run the Big 5 labs, okay? If you can't run the Big 5 labs, the next best thing is the starter kit, and it's like a quarter of the price, or it's somewhere around a quarter of the price, okay? And then And by the way, you can run this with your local naturopathic doctor, your integrative health practitioner. I'm okay with that. I'm just giving you the options. And then what they'll probably do is have you do a functional medicine detox to begin to empty your rain barrel. Again, I can't give you any medical advice, but this is what might happen. And then you'll be on a specific protocol that will help to rebalance your body. All right, so supraventricular tachycardia, it can happen from stress. It can absolutely happen from too high histamines. It can happen from post-traumatic stress disorder. It happened to me because I was used a nutritional supplement that used to be legal called ECA, ephedrine, caffeine, and aspirin. I was 22 years old, working as a personal trainer, and obviously learning about nutritional supplements. And this product worked. It worked for fat loss. That's why people used it. And it sped up your heart rate. But my body was not balanced. I had dysautonomia. I had POTS. I had mast cell activation syndrome. So it just put my heart rate to like 200 beats per minute. I had to go to the hospital too. I was only 22. I didn't have any money. I walked to the hospital, and it took them a couple hours to get it back down. Not ideal. Needless to say, sometimes we learn things the hard way. I never used that product again. And that product was subsequently outlawed, banned, probably like a year or two later. But not ideal. So we have to be careful, right? We have to be careful and that's why, I do so much third-party testing right now. Well, not so much. Every single product is third-party tested. So it's tested when it comes in the manufacturer, and it's tested when it goes out for potency and quality. And I only use healthy, products. But again, I was 22 years old. And when we're 22 years old, sometimes we don't necessarily think things through fully. And I was certainly at fault with that. But as I say, we all make mistakes, but we have to learn from them. So I learned from that mistake. All right, for you, something is triggering this accelerated heart rate. Cortisol, norepinephrine, we want to figure out what is going on with the body, right? So that's where we start. All right, last question today is from Megan. Megan's saying, "Hi, Stephen, I have 2 questions for you. What extent does diet outweigh exercise? If I only ate super clean and my exercise regime consisted of a light walk and gentle yoga every day, would I lose muscle tone or would I retain light tone? In your opinion, what should I typically be eating like for a day vegetarian? Can you please provide some recipes?" Okay, so yes to both. So the first one is this. Diet in the short term dramatically outweighs exercise. Meaning, like, if you want to lose weight, you don't need to exercise. And again, I came from a background of personal training, fitness, strength and conditioning, nutrition, like all those different things. So like I get it, and I don't recommend that. But I've worked with plenty of people, and they're not going to exercise. But they do a 21-day functional medicine detox and lose like 10 to 14 pounds, 10 to 15 pounds. 21 days, no exercise, just some walking. That's it. So, if you want to lose weight, nutrition trumps exercise. However, over time, you're going to lose muscle, and means you're going to lower your metabolism. So you can't have one without the other. Immediate results, nutrition. Long-term results, exercise. You can't not keep your nutrition tight. You have to, because to be honest, like, you can't out-train a bad diet. You just can't. So if I were to exercise like I exercise now, which is like 5 days a week, because I love exercise. And, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say I love exercise. I love going to the gym. I don't love cardio, but I do it. So, and that's because there's health benefits to it. So let's say I'm doing that. Okay. So if I ate 5,000 calories a day, I would be overweight. It doesn't matter. I could never out-exercise that. I just don't burn that many calories in a day. So there is a part to that, all right? And the last part is there's a podcast called Day in the Life of My Mediterranean Diet, and it tells you exactly how you can eat on a vegetarian-based diet. I put in a non-vegan-based protein in the evening, but you can just, have chickpeas, lentils, mung beans, dal, hummus, hemp hearts. Like, there's so many different varieties to choose from, right? So there's that. And then we have so many recipes at CabralSupportGroup.com. There's over 100. So all you have to do is just say, Actually, just go to cabralsupportgroup.com, use the search bar, type in recipes, and you'll see all sorts of delicious plant-based recipes there as well, because we help people that are vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, lacto-ovo, primal, paleo. Doesn't matter to us. We're going to help you either way. All right. So thank you, everyone, for writing in on these questions today. They were fantastic, as always. Can't wait to chat it with you again, though, tomorrow on our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Talk with you then. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.